Hours after the murder, one defendant made a cryptic post referencing 87 babies, a police code for homicide. The prosecution reveals the post was later deleted. The prosecution presents a crucial piece of digital evidence showing that just minutes after Charles Jones posted his Tampa plans, one of the defendants' accounts interacted with the post. In a key moment, the prosecution links two defendants together by showing how money from one's Cash app was used at the exact same time to book an Airbnb in another's name. Prosecutors present a smoking gun, still image from a defendant's phone, showing him looking up the victim's location while his own GPS dot places him at the conspirators' Airbnb. The court has shown shocking text messages where a defendant allegedly tried to use his girlfriend to seduce a member of the victim's crew to find out their location. Moments before the fatal shots, surveillance video from a parked Tesla captures the three alleged shooters exiting their vehicle and approaching the victim's car. The prosecution plays the harrowing surveillance footage showing the moment the ambush began, with the first shooter opening fire on Charles Jones's vehicle. Hours after the murder, one defendant made a cryptic post referencing 187 babies, a police code for homicide. The prosecution reveals the post was later deleted.
10 p.m. on the 23rd, Rashad Murphy's Instagram posts this black screen on the left there with the white words prosper and JR G-Day today, quotations 187 babies.
Had you learned that the individuals Prosper and JR were individuals killed on the same day together?
Yes.
And had those individuals been killed by someone related to the case from the victim's side?
Those two individuals were killed by Gino Norris's father, Gino Norris Sr.
Had that shooting been determined to be justified?
Yes. Gino Norris Sr. wasn't charged. It was deemed to be a justified killing. And
the reference to 187 babies, had you known what that meant?
Yes.
What was that?
187 is a reference to the precursor to 1200 gang, and the 187 babies was a reference to those two being very young when they were killed.
Was there a post at 12:27 p.m. as well?
Yes.
What did that indicate?
Black screen with the white words, "Hate me kindly."
When you actually completed the screen recording from Rashad Murphy's Ghost 187 account, the Prosper and Junior G-Day Today 187 babies recording, it was not present between the Art of War and the Hate Me Kindly. What does that indicate to you?
Overall, you can answer if you know.
The screen recording, I'm sorry, was obtained by Christopher Drebeck.
Had you had an opportunity to review it?
Yes.
Was that slide missing?
Yes.
And what does that indicate to you?
It was deleted.
The prosecution establishes the intense gang rivalry, showing how a series of social media posts by defendant Isaiah Chance culminated in a direct public confrontation with the victim, Charles Jones.
On Twitter Spaces was between Isaiah Chance and the victim, Charles Jones.
And did the content of that, or were you able to hear the content of that conversation?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's previously been admitted as 121. Was there a title to that Twitter Spaces conversation that was happening between Mr. Jones and Mr. Chance?
Yeah, it appears whoever started this specific Twitter Spaces conversation titled it at the top right there, "Shitty Dick and a..."
Investigators explain how the victim, Charles Jones, unknowingly broadcast his exact location and plans in Tampa, giving his alleged killers the information they needed to find him.
Yes, so this is actually the very first time that we see that the victim's advertising that he's going to be in Tampa, specifically detailing the date and time and the actual address to the location that he's going to be performing at. It was one post, and you can tell by the dots there were actually multiple flyers for that same event.
Now, if I bring the mouse to the screen, are you able to see the mouse there?
Correct.
On the image on the right of your screen, when you say multiple dots, are you talking about under the image here?
Correct.
The prosecution presents a crucial piece of digital evidence showing that just minutes after Charles Jones posted his Tampa plans, one of the defendants' accounts interacted with the post.
Or 6 minutes later.
Correct. So what we see here is Rashad Murphy's Instagram account is actually liking the post the victim made about with the flyers that he was going to be in teasers. So we can see a liked post author, Foolio, which is the victim, and then it puts the actual timestamp that Rashad Murphy's account likes that post.
And when you have the return records, which the actual physical papers or documents are in evidence, are you actually able to click on these links that say URL under the like timestamp post and go to the post itself?
Yeah, that's how we confirm the exact post that Rashad Murphy's liking.
Did the information from the Rashad Murphy device come from the physical extraction of this phone in 65A and B?
Yes.
Prosecutors connect defendant Rashad Murphy to the crime by showing a photo of the victim's car, saved on his phone days before the murder, and comparing it to the vehicle at the crime scene.
Here we have a crime scene photo to the left. This is from the actual scene at the hotel parking lot. And then on the right, we have the image that was extracted from Rashad Murphy's phone. And some of the same characteristics that I noted between the two images. Starting at the top, you'll see a windshield tint strip at the top that matches. And then as you go down, you'll see the opening in the hood that matches. And then as you go further down, here in the grill area, there's a Scat Pack logo. Appears to have one over here as well. And then the headlights and the lower part of the bumper all appear to match as well, from the victim's vehicle at the scene to the image saved on Rashad Murphy's phone.
And those were from June 20th of 2024?
Correct.
Were you able to retrieve?
The state begins to unravel the financial trail behind the murder plot, showing a Cash App transaction they allege was used to fund the defendant's trip to Tampa.
Talk to us about the transaction that occurs in the early morning hours of June 22nd.
Yes, so on Cash App, it highlighted that approximately 1:45 a.m. on Saturday the 22nd, early morning hours of Saturday 22nd, an account with the name of J. Breezy sends $390 to Mr. Richoff War, Isaiah Chance's account.
Are you, at this point in your investigation, familiar with J. Breezy when you're reviewing these records?
Yes.
In a key moment, the prosecution links two defendants together by showing how money from one's Cash App was used at the exact same time to book an Airbnb in another's name.
3:54:42 a.m. we can see a successful transaction on Isaiah Chance's Cash App for the Airbnb. And the way we know it's the Airbnb is here on the right of the image. You can see Airbnb and then a star and then a confirmation code starting with H ending in 5N. That same confirmation code is on the Airbnb return for Rashad Murphy's Airbnb booking of the Airbnb that the defendant stayed at while they were in Tampa.
In State's Exhibit 106, is this that Airbnb booking subpoena that you were talking about?
Yes.
Can you tell us what we're looking at?
So this is from the return from Airbnb. They specifically provided all the information that they register when an Airbnb is booked. And as we can see here, importantly, we see the date that the reservation was made, which is Saturday the 22nd. That time is also in UTC, so the correct time would have been 3:54 a.m. We can see the same confirmation code starting in H, ending in 5N, and we can also see the address of the Airbnb that they booked, which is 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane in Tampa, Florida. And then we can see the method of payment. So the credit card that they use, it has the first 6 and then the last 4. It appears the zeros chopped off, but it would be 0642.
The image that was returned from Airbnb with a timestamp was the time on the Airbnb records that returned to you in UTC.
Yes.
And when you created or did the conversion from UTC to Eastern Standard Time, at what time was that Airbnb transaction?
3:54 a.m.
And at what time was the successful payment in the Cash App records?
3:54 a.m.
To counter odd defendant's potential claim of ignorance, the prosecution plays a screen recording taken from his own phone, showing him watching the victim's social media posts.
The image on the right here is actually a screen recording that was saved on Sean Gaithright's iCloud backup, and it's a screen recording where it appears that his device is watching the victim's posts on social media and screen recording them at the same time.
May I confirm that 138 has previously been admitted? Yes.
Is that a yes? Okay.
Thank you.
Prosecutors present a smoking gun still image from a defendant's phone, showing him looking up the victim's location while his own GPS dot places him at the conspirators' Airbnb.
That the user who's operating this device has selected 97 North Nebraska as an address he was focusing in on, and that's the address to Teaser's nightclub where we knew the victim was going to be at later in the evening to perform. And then also of big significance is the user of that device on the maps is actually highlighted by his own location dot, which is that blue dot at the top right. And that was significant because that's the area that the Airbnb 3703 Gazebo Pond Lane, where the defendant stayed at, was located at.
The image on the right side of your screen, is there also a pinned location?
Yes, the red dot there.
What is that?
That pinned location would be a location that you visit often, and on this specific device, it was Victoria Lakes, which is the address that matches Sean Gaithwright's house, 13751 Victoria Lakes Drive in Jacksonville, Florida.
Is that ultimately where a search warrant was conducted in this particular case at the residence belonging to Sean Gaithright?
Correct.
And were their initials also associated to the device?
Yes, so in the second yellow circle to the right there, you can see the initials SG, and that's indicating the account holder of the iCloud account or the iPhone at that time. SG are the initials of Sean Gaithright.
And you said the circle with the blue here, that is where the device is at the time it's opened, the maps, is that what you said?
Correct.
The court has shown shocking text messages where a defendant allegedly tried to use his girlfriend to seduce a member of the victim's crew to find out their location.
Bruh, make it seem like you don't know that he's there. He's at a B&B with 6. Be like, where you at? I want to pull up. I'm drunk and trying to fuck. And then never mind.
Was there a response to his 4 text messages?
Yes, we at Tierra Club, Tierra the club.
Were you able to, throughout your investigation, determine
The prosecution shows how license plate readers captured the defendant's vehicles moving in tandem towards the victim's location just minutes after he revealed it online.
So after 3:30, the silver Chevy Cruze and the black Chevy Impala hit an LPR eastbound on Hillsborough at 15th, and then they go north on 40th towards Truth.
showing you now states 82 and 46. Please describe for us what was being depicted in these 2 images.
So what we can see here on the left is the black Chevy Impala, at this time being occupied by Sean Gaithright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy, hitting at Hillsborough and 15th at 3:41 a.m. And then within 60 seconds, the silver Cruze that at this time is being occupied by Isaiah Chanson Andrews, hitting at that same plate reader in the same direction.
Do these captures come 11 minutes or approximately 11 minutes after the story with the flyer from Folio's Instagram account?
Yes, this is approximately 11 minutes after Mr. Jones posts the address to Truth 18.
And the intersection itself, East Hillsborough Avenue and 15th Street, is it consistent with heading towards the Truth 18 location?
Yes.
Were you able to confirm both the silver Chevy Cruze and the black Chevy Impala in the area of the Truth 18 Club thereafter?
Yes.
Between 4:03 and 4:05 a.m., were you able to retrieve footage from the parking lot of the Truth 18?
Yes.
Moments before the fatal shots, surveillance video from a parked Tesla captures the 3 alleged shooters exiting their vehicle and approaching the victim's car.
And zoom in, you can see that the 3 occupants come from the exact vicinity of where that black Impala backed into.
Now, the one individual along the fence line, is that what's depicted by the circle in the image underneath it?
Correct. So the image bottom left is the circle in the top left.
And the right of the screen and the individuals depicted down here?
Correct.
This is home to suites footage, but utilizing the Tesla images as well, is that correct?
Yes.
Does the shooting then ultimately start after those?
The prosecution plays the harrowing surveillance footage showing the moment the ambush began, with the first shooter opening fire on Charles Jones's vehicle.
Yes, so on the left side of the screen, we see shooter number 1 coming into view of this camera, starting to raise his pistol. And then on the right side of the screen, we can see that same shooter now having the pistol leveled off towards the victim's vehicle, in front of the victim's vehicle, and the muzzle flash of that pistol coinciding with the first impact strike on the windshield of the victim's vehicle.
Is the impact strike documented here on the black Charger in the center of the windshield?
Correct.
Investigators detail the defendant's actions immediately after the murder, including a coordinated social media post they interpret as a celebration of the successful hit.
1 or 2 minutes after Gaithright arrives back at the Airbnb, that Mr. Davion Murphy's iCloud, or from his iCloud, we can see that he's doing an internet search for Tom Brady, Bill Belichick image.
Were there images saved from Davion Murphy's device of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick?
Yes.
Did those images have any kind of tags on them, or were these specifically saved with the data from the downloads from YouTube, or from the internet?
Yeah, so on Davion Murphy's iCloud extraction, we could just see the images that he searched on the internet and then saved to his device. They weren't yet tagged or posted to social media.
And that's 4:56 a.m.
Correct.
By 5 o'clock a.m., is this a post from the return on Rashad Murphy's device?
Yes. Instagram. Rashad Murphy's Instagram.
At 7, let's start with his Instagram. Let's start with Rashad Murphy if we can. At 7:52 a.m. on the same date, is there a search for the victim's account?
Yes.
Going back to the early morning hours post, was there also a post of the same image saved to Davian Murphy's iCloud account, posted to the story of Rashad Murphy?
Correct.
And at what time was that?
That was posted on Rashad Murphy's Instagram account at 8 to 10 a.m.
The state shows how defendants engage with celebratory drill rap videos released after the murder, including a screenshot of one defendant discussing a new track on Reddit.
Yes, this is a still image from Young and Ace's song "Do It." It was uploaded onto YouTube on the day of the murder, 6:23, approximately 6 p.m.-ish in that time frame.
Did that music video refer to Young and Ace's little duets?
Correct.
And, Your Honor, at this time, the state seeks to admit State's Exhibits 131A through E and 132A and B.
All right, any new objections? Mr. Gonzalez?
No new objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Sinardi? Mr. Wise? And Mr. Petridis? Okay, be admitted.
Were there additional music videos that were posted after the offense date in this particular case that were of relevance to your investigation?
Yes.
And did you document those music videos as well?
Yes.
Before we get to those, can we talk a little bit about the return from Sean Gathwright's device from after the date of the homicide itself? The Do It video, first of all, was posted on what day?
So the Do It video was posted on June 23rd, so the Sunday of the murder, approximately 6 p.m.
On the 23rd, did you have a return from Sean Gathwright's device, which referenced a music video from Young and Ace?
Yes, so this is a screenshot that was taken from Sean Gathwright's iCloud download, and what we can see in this screenshot is the timestamp at the top says 7:40, so approximately an hour and 40 minutes after Ace's Do It song came out. He screenshots a Reddit post in the Duval County thread, "Let Ace's new song marinate."
And what did it say underneath that?
You know how it be with this N-word. Everyone says his songs are ass.
The prosecution tackles defendant Rashad Murphy's alibi head-on, explaining that while his phone was left in another city, its lack of use was itself suspicious.
And we were able to prove from the timing events that that phone never left Jacksonville. Rashad Murphy left that phone in Jacksonville at his house.
Did you have an opportunity to review the events which occurred, or like the device info for the events that occurred on that device?
Yes.
Was the activity from June 22nd through June 23rd consistent with the activity that had occurred on that device prior to that time frame?
I'm
By
sorry.
way of volume.
No.
What was happening on that device at that time frame?
To demonstrate the accuracy of their digital forensics, investigators show a side-by-side comparison of cell phone location data and surveillance video, synced to the exact second.
Yeah, so this on the right, you can see the sector of the tower and the timing advance circle. It's placing it in the vicinity of the Airbnb at 7:55 p.m. At that same time, we can see Alicia Andrews at the ring at 7:55 p.m. holding a device that is believed to be the device that's giving this data for its location.
Now this PowerPoint, this section of the PowerPoint itself, this cell phone mapping is an actual exhibit. So if we paused, you know, the footage that we've just viewed, the video, this active part, is that what we're looking at if we pause it at this exact minute on that video on the screen on the right?
Correct. So as you play that video, if you were to pause in at exactly 7:55:06, this is the image you would see in that video on the right-hand side of the screen right now.
And is that as it's captured for the remainder of this exhibit?
Correct.
Were you able to confirm that the Andrews device was present at the McDonald's location?
On cross-examination, the defense hammers the prosecution's case, forcing the lead detective to concede a major point. There's no direct video evidence of a key defendant in either car.
Witness that would place Rashad Murphy in the Impala during any time between its travel down from Jacksonville and its travel from Tampa, wherever it went, correct?
Specifically as it pertains to video footage, yes, there is no video footage of Rashad Murphy as an occupant of the Impala, correct?
or witness statement, correct?
Again, video footage that he's identifiable. You know, again, the video footage at the homicide scene at Homestead Suites. You know, he comes from where the Impala parks and goes back to it.
I understand that you are suggesting that your evidence would suggest he is in the Impala.
Yes.
What I am asking you is whether or not you can testify that there is video footage that identifies Rashad Murphy at any point in time from when the Impala leaves Jacksonville until wherever it goes after it leaves Tampa, from the 22nd of June through the 23rd of June.
Correct. There's no video footage where Rashad Murphy's identifiable in the Impala. Correct.
Would you also have the same answer as it would relate to the Chevy Cruze, from its travel down from Jacksonville as it's tracked with the cell site information, through its travel in Tampa, and then ultimately back to Jacksonville? There is no video, nor is there a witness that would place him as an occupant of the Chevy Cruze, correct?
Yes, sir.
And
The defense offers an innocent explanation for a key piece of evidence, suggesting a celebratory post was for the birthdays of the defendant's children, not the murder.
been through Jacksonville, correct?
Correct.
And G-Day means what?
In this specific, so there could be multiple meanings. I've heard G-Day being birthday, I've heard G-Day being gangster day, and I've heard G-Day as get back day. Between this post and the one found on Davion's, where he captions a lot of people as well, the reference used in these contexts were believed to be get back, because in that post, none of those people's birthdays are on 6/23.
But universally, and we're talking about Rashad Murphy's post, we're not talking about anybody else's post.
Sure.
Universally, G-Day is commonly referred to around the world as birthday, correct?
That could be one of the references that it's used by, correct.
And it just so happens that two of the people that are discussed in this post, their birthdays are in fact that day, June 23rd, correct?
My knowledge of the people being discussed in the post are the males who got killed in this war, not any one's children.
Okay, but you can confirm for me that Mr. Murphy's son's birthday was in fact this day, June 23rd, correct?
I don't know that.
Okay. Thank you.
A detective recounts a chilling comment made by defendant Davion Murphy during his processing, where he allegedly pointed out his own gang tattoo as a key piece of evidence.
Specifically as it relates to those tattoos, did Mr. Davion Murphy make any statements to you as you were photographing his person?
Yes, ma'am.
And what, if anything, was said to you as you photographed his back, or the center of his back?
Not a quote, but it's something along the lines of, "That's the one you really want."
Could you see what was depicted at the location that you were photographing when Davion Murphy made that statement to you?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
What were you taking a picture of when he made that statement to you?
The tattoo that says 1200 block.